Welcome to Waku Radio. I am your co-host Seabass, and I'm here with Kobe and Henry. Today we will discuss Judgment Day, P-Diddy, and Nickelodeon.
Because he was young, and then all these like videos coming out about how like they've been trying to tell us this secret message, but nobody's been listening.
It's like the whole debate, right? Like the whole debate about whether are we born evil or are we born good?
Mm-hmm.
And me, I think we're all inherently evil.
Like, oh, this is the end of the world. Biblical prophecies are coming up and shit like that.
He likes feet.
Yeah.
And one of the main symbols of the logos for Nickelodeon, splash feet.
Dude, so now I'm curious, right? I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this fucking eclipse, right?
Those are tough discussions today.
Am I the only one who doesn't really care about Diddy? I'm more sad about like R. Kelly than I am with Diddy.
Yeah. Well, I think with Diddy is what I think it's correlated with the Epstein's files.
Not only that,
because when I was doing some research onto it with the diddle stuff,
the diddles.
Yeah, they're calling him like the diddler, the diddle, and stuff like that. He got diddled.
Yeah.
But they were talking to I have notes right here. They were talking to or is it federal sources, and they were saying it was raided because of ongoing investigation of sex trafficking.
Yeah.
But he has a long list. That it's not just only that, but like all of the conspiracy and suspicions of like he was responsible for Tupac and Biggie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, like the murder of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the middle of all that mess. So it's like it's kind of crazy.
Well, they're also saying that he's gonna expose Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's killing his mistress. Have you heard of that?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah. Like actually killing? What do you mean?
Yeah, no, like she's gone.
Oh.
Nobody knows where she's at. So like during because Jay-Z and Beyonce together, I guess he had a mistress that got pregnant or something like that. She's like she was like a fitness instructor or some type of trainer or something. Pretty successful for all the celebrities. And then no one's really heard from her.
He doesn't even look like the type. I just can't imagine him murdering somebody.
There's a type of person that looks
I don't know. I don't get that. I don't get that vibe from Jay-Z. Just I don't know. I was never got. I get it more from P-Diddy than I do with Jay-Z for some reason.
Yeah. Diddy kind of looks like
he looks shady.
Like the guy from Captain. Look at me. I'm the captain of the ship now.
Yeah, that's so insulting, bro. That guy's like an Oscar award and shit. Best actor, best supporting actor from Captain Phillips. Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was like this like what is it from Haitian or something, like some Haitian dude. They're pirates. They raided a ship and he's like, look at me. I'm the captain now.
Dude, that guy won an Oscar award that year.
Oh, really?
For that supporting role.
Is that the African actor?
Yeah.
He got popular and trending, and he became a meme and then everything.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I don't know, but
now I can't even look at him the same.
No, but I don't know, man. There's just a lot of accusations out there. I think that the thing is, it's because we all grew up with that music and all the artists that are being affected by it. Like a lot of people right now are heartbroken about Usher, being like that, and then they're saying like, Usher and then Justin Bieber, because he was young, and then all these like videos coming out about how like they've been trying to tell us this secret message, but nobody's been listening.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's why this is such a huge thing. And then 50 Cent has been trying to expose Diddy.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams was on point though. Have you seen the interview? Did you watch the interview?
Yeah.
It's pretty on point, I think.
March 25th, P. Diddy, he got his house raided in Miami and LA. And under accusations of previous sex trafficking, minors, drugs, prostitution with celebrities and all that stuff.
Did he actually leave the U.S.? I can't.
No. So his plane flew out and stuff like that. But he's been seen recently in Miami, and he's not arrested yet. They pretty much raided his house to collect all the evidence for the case, basically. So that's why he's still running around.
Yeah. Usually you're innocent until proven guilty, so you still have time to get out. And he's got tons of money and lawyers that.
Yeah,
unless you're in Japan.
That was one thing they were talking about too, because he has so much money that it'll be hard to take him to court unless they have all the evidence and stuff. Yeah. But that's what they raided to get all the footage, because I guess they were saying every room in his house had cameras on there, and then basically after a certain time, that's when shit goes crazy.
Yeah.
They say,
But I feel like he's not stupid though, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like he's done some stuff to prevent certain things. I don't think he's an idiot. He's prepped to a certain point, I think.
I feel like he probably saw what
He knew
Epstein's
he
were
knew.
doing,
Yeah.
and then he kind of wanted to do the same thing.
You think he was like inspired by the Epsteins?
Could be.
I don't think he was inspired. I think it's more of he was already so deep into it. He just kind of adopted it, I think. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like when they're in the elitist, that's why the whole thing about the whole when we were talking about like last episode about the whole humiliation, humiliation, whatever the thing is,
Yeah.
ritual and all that. You know, these people were just top of the world. And then who's that famous star that now he's getting fuck. I'll get back to it.
You ever seen the show Empire?
One episode.
But like that, I feel like has a lot of like hidden meanings to it. You know what I mean? Because like 50 was the one that like pretty much brought that up, right? I believe he was the one that produced it or something. But also, I think 50 has been he's been trying to expose a lot of like the rappers and shit. So I think he really dropped a lot of clues in that show. So if you really think about it, they'll do crazy shit to the artists and stuff like that in order to like make sure like, hey, I'm gonna hold you to your contract or whatever.
Right.
Because it's money, man. Like people do some crazy shit for money.
Especially like with P.D's status, like he has like I'm pretty sure with his status before everyone found out what's going on and everything, he could pretty much go to anyone, but like this guy's talented, we can sign him up, and it would be like that. But then with that power, he was probably like, hey, you know, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I mean, did you guys hear the video of him clapping Meek Mill's cheeks?
No, I didn't see that.
But is it any video can be so
doctored?
You know, it could be like it could be augmented and all.
Did you see his face in it or what?
No, it was from P-Diddy's security guard at the parties.
Oh,
he so basically he was saying it was actually pretty interesting. So the way he would run the parties basically is like he wouldn't spike the alcohol because that's what they bring out and pop to keep everyone like the image of like it's safe.
You said Diddy would not spike the alcohol? Wait, what?
He did not spike the alcohol. What he would do is spike the mixed drinks. So he like the orange juice, the sodas and stuff like that. And then girls, of course, don't ever drink just shots. So they will get a drink and put the orange juice in, and that's how they would get drugged and shit like that.
Interesting.
And then his security guard said he doesn't drink. He just smokes weed occasionally. He said. So he said when everyone was fucked up, he walked by Diddy's room or one of the rooms and he heard what was going down. So he brought out his phone to record it, just the audio.
Right.
Yeah. And then he's the one that showed the audio to the world.
Was Meek? No.
Meek was getting clapped.
I know, but was he
pretty
awake?
I don't know. I don't know if he was conscious or not, but there was like a ongoing thing with Meek Mills and P. Diddy apparently.
A lot of them.
Yeah. Dude, but if you hear the video, just look it up. You can like.
But even then,
Meek Mill was getting torn up.
But even then though, like if you really look, dude,
now I gotta see. Now I gotta see the fucking video. Now you're like, can you pull that up?
Yeah, pull it up, dude. Pull it up,
dude.
But
I have to see this now.
But like but the big one was like Usher too. You know, a lot of these guys.
But Usher wasn't as deep as what.
No, but Usher. No, but I'm saying like Usher and Diddy. Usher was like 14 when Diddy discovered him.
Oh, you're saying that you think?
Oh. Yeah. So like, I think that he was like, what do you call it when you're grooming Usher and grooming a lot of the other stars like Justin Bieber and stuff like that. So
he got Usher at a young age too, right?
Yeah. 14.
Yeah. You think maybe the reason why he dances so smoothly is because he got his ass beat?
Yeah, something like that.
His
But also
ass clapped.
Yeah, but also like the song "Let It Burn." What is that in reference to? You know what I mean?
Dude, the first thing I think about when I think about "Let It Burn" is his case when he had herpes and shit.
Yeah, but still, like, what if it's like no lube in the butthole?
Yeah, I need to find it.
You know what I mean?
Because there's a lot of videos, but I'm not sure which one's just talking about, which one's showing it.
Yeah.
Well, but then it ties into the whole thing that's going on to Nickelodeon too, because P. Diddy actually guest starred in one of the some of the episodes. Yeah. And then actually watched the documentary behind the set. Yeah, this shit's fucking wild.
Well, all these actors and actresses just came out of the woodworks and stuff like that. So it's like
like this story about Amanda Bynes, how she had to create a second Twitter and then she was trying to prove that it was her.
Did you see all her recent like videos recently, Amanda Bynes?
No, I haven't.
She looks so unrecognizable
yeah,
now. She's going through like some like health issues, right? Like depression,
Mental health.
mental health stuff.
Yeah.
And dude, she's like getting to the point where she was trying to start off her what was it, a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
And it flopped, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she's still like trying things.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like I give her props for that. But it's like when you see her compared to how we grew up with her, it's like, damn, man, she's way more dramatic than when we saw Britney Spears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Britney Spears like part of Disney with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those celebrities that started out young, they're kind of fucked almost in a way, you know.
I can't look at Nickelodeon the same. It's like all these little.
Well, we all
Easter
knew
eggs.
that though. We all knew what Nickelodeon was doing. I think we
were blind.
Well, no, I think we just kind of chose to look the other way because there's no confirmation, and now that there's confirmation, it's like holy shit. Now I'm recognizing so much more details. Like there's always been word being spilled about SpongeBob and Patrick, like gay stuff, you know, in the mix and stuff like that.
Don't forget about their logo. That's like the big one, the feet.
Oh,
Hear about that? Producer
Dan
was it Goldstein? No, Dan.
No,
Schneider.
Yeah, he liked feet.
He likes feet.
Yeah.
And one of the main symbols of the logos for Nickelodeon, splashed feet.
Dude, I was watching this video. It came up on my Facebook, right? Like my Facebook is right now is just pushing Diddy videos and Nickelodeon videos.
Right.
But like if you've ever listened to it's a montage, like a compilation of all the ending parts of every like show that like Dan slid in there.
Yeah.
It was always like weird shit like Ariana Grande saying like, no, Dan, or whatever, right? Or Amanda Bynes saying something or some perverted ass shit.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn, it was like a montage of it though. And I was like, wow, this is creeping me the fuck out, dude. Like I get that like in that position of power, but when you're like targeting young kids, that's weird, man.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And he does it in a legal way. It's like no one can touch him.
Yeah, and the weird thing is the discussion right now that's going on is why isn't Ariana Grande against Dan Schneider? Because it seems like they have a really good relationship together.
Yeah,
like
because she was defending him, right?
Yeah, she's on the defensive side of him versus everybody else is trying to expose him.
Maybe she benefited so much that to the point where she can't do anything but be thankful for him.
I mean, it could be Stockholm syndrome too, right?
It could be a lot. You never know. He could have done all the right things to her, and all the wrong things were done to all the other people. And for all we know, that's all she knows. You know what I mean? And of course, you know, like you're only gonna judge based on face value.
Do you know what part? Oh, go for it.
No, go ahead.
You know what part's kind of crazy to think about? Because there was a scene in the behind the set or whatever where he like the dad found out.
Quiet on set.
Yeah, quiet on set where the dad found out about what's his name from
Josh Peck?
Not Josh, the other one.
Drake?
Yeah, Drake. That the father found out that Drake got, you know, pretty much molested by Dan, and like the reaction, I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy, you know? Like,
yeah, he didn't give a fuck.
No, I think like he cared.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
No,
he was like hurt. He was like,
really?
damn, I didn't know what like because like first when Dan Schneider got caught, Drake called his dad, was like, hey, Dan got caught, and then the dad was like, oh, thank God, I knew that guy was trouble, blah blah blah. But Drake never told him what happened.
Oh,
and then he eventually told them, and it was like, oh shit, you know, type thing.
Yeah, well,
and I was like, just thinking like from the dad's perspective, like you know, like
yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense. You're trying to push your kid's career or whatever. You know, and then
you're the one who's responsible for it.
Yeah,
you feel guilty.
Exactly. Then you find out like, oh shit, like I've been pushing my kid towards a pedophile. Like that's crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
and then there was parts where they were like, what's up with these parents like giving these like celebrities their kids? Because the same thing happened with like Diddy, right? Like he was able to like take control over like kids, and like, then Dan did the same thing with like Amanda Bynes and stuff like that. He started like
you have to think about it. Like a lot of these parents, they just see it as like another income, or oh, my kid's gonna be a superstar. They don't really know like what the fuck is going on behind the scenes, like you know, like molestation, manipulation, and stuff, right? Like now that it's coming out, people are gonna be way more careful. Like we know about like you know, you hear about the beauty pageants. How these little girls were being pushed into doing beauty pageants, and then they were getting like sexually molested or objectified.
Right.
And then now it's like, okay, well, if this is happening on this level, why can't it be happening on a much higher scale?
Yeah.
I like how you mentioned that, because there's that movie that came out recently, like late last year. It was about human trafficking. It was with Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Dude, that movie is like it'll get you, bro. And it gets to the point where they're targeting what you were talking about earlier, like beauty pageants.
Mm-hmm.
So of course the dad was like, "Oh, well," in the scene, one of the scenes, like, "Oh, trusting."
Yeah.
And then when he comes to pick the daughter up later on, the daughter's gone, bro.
Oh,
Like,
you're talking about Sound of Freedom?
Yeah.
Sound of Freedom, bro.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, but it's like good movie in the sense where it shows reality.
Yeah, yeah.
And it happens every fucking day, bro.
Yeah, I know, it's sad.
And it's crazy, and it's true story. That's what's happening now. It's true story.
Yeah.
It was. I think it happened like back in the '90s when that movie.
Yeah. We were watching. Me and my girl watching that shit was fucking.
Yeah, dude. It'll get you, bro. It makes you think.
Didn't the founders of Sounds of Freedom got arrested for kidnapping children?
No, it was one of the guys that was investor.
Oh,
He,
okay.
He supported the movie or something. Then they found out that he was part of the sex trafficking.
Yeah.
But I think he was just doing it to cover himself. You know what I mean? You know how some people like try to give back so that it kind of like gets rid of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know who, but the message is in the movie. You know? What I mean?
Exactly.
So it is what it is. But,
Yeah.
But it's weird because, like, all right, so let's go back to Nickelodeon. Well, they were saying that with Amanda Bynes, she was trying to tell her parents, right, what was going on. But her mom, she didn't have parents. She grew up with a single mom that, like, with a bunch of, like, siblings, I guess, and they were dirt poor.
Yeah.
And I guess, like, she was trying to tell her mom, like, hey, dude, like, it is what it is. And then I think I might be mixing up celebrities here. No, it's the other girl from that was in the same show with
it was before Amanda Bynes, wasn't it?
With
iCarly?
No, with Ariana Grande.
Oh, blonde chick?
Yeah, she wrote a whole book on it. And
Yeah. Dude, oh my god,
I can't remember her name. No, it wasn't Ashley, but we'll put it right here.
Yeah,
we'll put the picture, whatever her name is. Anyways, but she was basically saying, like, she was telling her mom that all these things happened, and then her mom just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And was just like, no, dude, we need you to pay the bills and shit like that. And because by the age of like 14, 15, she was paying the entire family's bills.
Goddamn.
Yeah. So like the mom's not going to let go of that. She sees her as a fucking income. You know what I mean? Like, that's why she wrote the book. Like, something like it disses her mom, like saying something like, I wish my mother was dead or something like that.
Jesus.
That's the title of the book or some shit like that. But
it's not Ashley Tisdale?
No, it's not Ashley. It's the other chick.
I know you're talking about. It's on the tip of my.
It might have been an iCarly. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
She wrote a book that says what?
I wish my mother was dead or something like that.
It's that chick with the big nose or whatever.
Let me see.
It's kind of fucked up, actually. I say that.
Yeah, no, I literally just Googled this shit and I'm like, wait, I should probably put book in the end. Oh, I'm glad my mom died.
Oh, that's what it is. I wish my mother was dead.
That's fucking savage.
But still, you know what I mean?
I get it.
Like,
yeah, I'm glad my Jannette McCurdy.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
There
Jannette McCurdy. Yeah.
But she was part of the Drake show, isn't it?
Yeah, she was part of Drake and Josh.
Drake and Josh.
But that's another one I wanted to bring up. So Drake Bell comes out and is exposing everything on these, documentaries and whatever, right? But Josh Peck,
he supported.
He's defending Nickelodeon.
Oh wow.
And Dan, and saying that he literally just released a video like recently where he was talking shit about Drake, calling him a crybaby and shit like that. But
I have an opinion on that one.
Go ahead.
There's actually a conspiracy behind that too. You go with your opinion first.
I think he got the better end of it, and he was thrown under swept under the rug, Drake, because his career pretty much went downhill. Drake.
Well, yeah, if you don't sleep with the producer.
Josh Peck is the one who.
But he's not in anything really yet anymore either, though.
But he's been around. He still does a lot of like certain ventures where he does like side gigs. But if you were to compare both, Josh Peck is higher in terms of like when it comes to the industry and all that.
Can I tell you my opinion now?
What?
I think Dan Schneider just wasn't in the Fat Kids.
But he lost hella weight. He could have done it.
I mean, that was later on
when he was older.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I'm saying like because when he was a young fat kid, Dan Schneider probably didn't find him attractive. So that's probably why he never made a pass at Josh. And Drake was like the handsomer kid. You know what I mean? Because Drake was saying something about how he woke up and Dan was like shucking on his shit. Bro.
Yeah.
It's a place to be fat.
Yeah. Fat kids, dude.
Fat kid love cake.
What were you gonna say about?
So there's a conspiracy about it. So you guys hear about Brian Peck? He was also like part of the accusations and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Really?
So Josh Peck is last name, and technically no one knows who Josh's father is.
Right.
So the conspiracy behind that is that Brian Peck is actually his father, and that's why no one fucked with Josh, because
Who's Brian Peck again?
he's another guy who was on the Nickelodeon set who was also like part of I believe so. Here, let me pull it up.
Oh, I see. So he just didn't get fucked with because he was he part of the ring though, or no?
Here, let me look it up. It was like a little.
So he could be.
Yeah. So Brian Peck was sentenced to 16 months in prison after he was found guilty of 11 counts of child sexual abuse.
So he was also.
Yeah, so he was also he was like on Drake and Josh, iCarly, Zoe 101 and stuff like that. But the conspiracy behind it, because Josh Peck has never announced his father or who his father is, they're assuming that in a way they kind of got rid of it, but he's related to him and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Very interesting.
And that's why Josh is so like defending Nickelodeon and all that stuff.
I just don't get the admiration for wanting to be with a kid. I just don't get it.
I don't fucking get it either.
I get it. I mean, granted, like this ain't the medieval times. Medieval times, it was very common. Like if you look it up, like people was common to be wed or be in bed with like a 16-year-old, even younger, even a 14-year-old.
It was younger than that.
Yeah, yeah. I know, but it ranges. But like average would be like
I remember like
9 to 16.
Well, remember back in the day, in those times, people didn't live that long. So grown men were getting married to like 6-year-olds, 8-year-old like girls.
I just can't imagine.
Just because the life expectancy was like 20, 30 years and that was it.
And I think they also done it as a form of protection for the female too, because she's married. There's less chance of her getting fucked around with.
Yeah. Raped or whatever.
Yeah. But damn.
Raped.
It's just crazy to me.
No, but yeah, I get that. But that isn't current time. And I don't know if that might be like a fucked up genetic thing that gets passed down or what. But like,
I think it's an innate primal thing.
You think so?
I think so. It's like the whole debate, right? Like the whole debate about whether are we born evil or are we born good? And me, I think we're all inherently evil, but we choose to be good.
Absolutely.
That's what I think.
You're true. That's true.
You know what I mean? Because think about it. If you were to protect your family, you kill that person to protect your family. You want to provide food for your family, you hunt. You'd have to kill. You'd have to go with your own primal instinct to hunt animal, track it, hunt it, then kill it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like we're inherently like evil in a sense. Not like in a sense we're like, we always want to do like genocide or some shit, but we're capable of it. It's always deep in the back of our mind, but we always choose to say no.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, because like it's always easier to do bad things.
Yeah.
And it's actually more difficult because it's more of a resistance to do the better thing. So like, like for example, like why is there always a push of the Bible and the rules and like, oh, you must behave and laws and regulations? Because it's so much easier to just be like, fuck everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I get what you're saying. I personally, I think hell is on earth, right? And that's just how it works.
Yeah.
We just have to, in order to get the heaven, we just have to abide by the rules. I'm not saying in the sense of like, if you die, you go to heaven or hell, right? I'm saying as you're born, it's going off of what you're saying.
Yeah.
We're already in hell. Now it just depends on how you live your life and what decisions you decide to make. That takes you from one way or the other. Because we have friends that live in misery. Right. And it's like, dude, you choose to live like that. There are things that you can do to get out of that.
Right.
But
I think there's levels to it, you know? Even after let's say we leave here, I feel like you're not fully in heaven yet after you die. Or hell, you'd have to get like judge or some shit, but whoever the being or universe or whatever you believe in, right? It's just like crazy to me, but anyway, that's another topic.
Wait, so you're saying you believe in heaven and hell?
I believe in, I'm more leaning towards like Buddhism, like I believe in karma, right? As far as, so for me currently, I was raised Catholic, right?
Right.
I know how I was raised between like both sides, but right now I'm currently agnostic. It's not. I mean, I'm not atheist. I still believe there's something out there.
Okay.
Whether because I like science-based stuff too.
Yeah.
Whether it be universe or God, whatever you'd like to choose, right? But I mean, as far as like your question, if I believe heaven and hell, I think there's a certain plane of existence where we do go. I don't know what it is because I know for sure we're not really dead because to me, I still believe we're all energy, right?
Yeah.
And you can't destroy energy. It's like laws of thermodynamics and shit.
Yeah.
It's just gonna transfer one vessel to another one.
Right.
So the question is, where would our energy go? That's the question. And for us to say like, you know what, we're just gonna be stuck in one plane just because we lived our life for 100 years, whatever, and then all of a sudden we just stay there. I don't believe it. I feel like we just keep moving. It's always moving.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's never gonna stop.
Yeah, energy doesn't sit. If it does, it disappears.
Yeah,
but.
even if we were to become extinct, it's gonna go somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
It doesn't matter if the species are extinct.
God, I would love to bring Prime onto this episode.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Yeah,
because it would open up Henry to a whole nother level of thinking.
I mean, we could probably debate about it.
Well, speaking of this subject,
wait. Didn't you have a question earlier that you wanted to ask?
Oh, dude, you know what got me thinking, man? Like, do you think hell would be more fun than being in heaven? Like, hear me out, right? Like, I feel like all the stuff, all the fun stuff, all the bad fun stuff that's against in the Bible, for example.
Like what?
Like, for example, okay, I was gonna start off with sodomy for a second, but wait, like, for example, like, fuck, man, I don't know. I'm gonna look like a douchebag here. Like,
all right, no,
there's like, here's the sins, right? You got infidelity, you got adultery, you got sodomy, which is like anal and shit.
Yeah.
And then all the fun shit where you're like being a belligerent asshole in like, let's say the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, Sin City.
Yeah, Sin City. Drinking, another one. That's a big one.
Drugs. Yeah.
Drugs.
Okay.
I don't condone doing drugs. I'm just saying, but it happens, right? When you're living your life.
Okay, so.
But like, so after, let's say you lived a good life and you go to heaven, what do you do? You know what I mean? Like,
is what you're saying is like, is hell more fun than heaven? Is that what you're saying?
Like, here's a good depiction. Remember that old movie Little Nicky?
Yeah, of course.
With Adam Sandler, right? All the fun shit was there. They were playing guitar, just blasting their music and shit, and just having. I'm not saying hell's like that, right?
Right.
But in a comedic sense. But I'm just saying, like, what do you do? Like, what do you guys think about? Like, what would you do in heaven?
Well,
if it was real.
Well, number one, let me go take it back. So the depiction of like heaven and hell is that like when you're in heaven, everything is like free roam, right? Everything is free roam in the movie, at least.
Yeah.
And then in
heaven is supposed to be like the Garden of Eden,
right?
Everything's provided for you. Your food,
exactly.
Everything. You have your loved ones.
Yeah.
Everything that you wanted.
Yeah. But then in the movie or most depictions of hell, it's always punishment.
Yeah.
So like you have to constantly relive that part over and over again because there's a famous scene in Little Nicky where Hitler is getting a fucking pineapple shoved up his ass over and over again.
I mean, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, here, I'll tell you the guys a story. I'm going to paraphrase the story, right? But the whole Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
So in the Christian or Catholic sense, when Adam and Eve, I'm going to skip the whole part with the apple, right? The serpent, whatever. Well, the apple represents the knowledge. The knowledge is supposed to be that you're aware of all the stuff that's bad. Like, for example, they're naked, right? But they don't know they're naked. Because they don't understand, like, that's their... Like they're not aware of like the knowledge of like what do you call it? Whatever the sins are.
Yeah.
And it exposed them to realizing what they're doing. Like they're realizing the disgust and all the sins that we have.
Right.
And that's what the apple is supposed to represent.
Knowledge.
So what if like if you were to go to heaven, you're reverting back to your original state.
You know what I mean? Still don't know what the sins are?
Now you don't even know it. So now you're back to being pure and just like
So you're saying it would get rid of all the fun, which is the knowledge that
you wouldn't be aware. You're just living in the Garden of Eden, pretty much.
So are you saying it's like a state of slavery? Where is it? Are you saying like?
I'm not saying it's slavery. I'm just saying like
you get what I'm saying. It's like feed them food every day, keep them locked up, give them everything, then they won't ever leave.
Sounds like fucking prison.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, it's not the type of prison you're thinking. It's still a paradise.
It's a mental prison though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like being locked
It's-
up
it's
in
like-
it's like being dropped off an island. Like there you go, you got all the food and sources, but
Yeah.
now that's the fun's up
It's like
to you.
it's like that Plato's freaking
Yeah.
allegory where like he's the people in the cave
Mm-hmm.
and there's only one way to exit, and the allegory was pretty much saying that one person reaches for the light and gets out of that cave, but it's supposed to represent a lot more deeper shit.
Yeah.
Like, what if that garden even was like that? You know what I mean? What if? I'm not saying it is, but what if?
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, like back to the whole like, you know, like I feel like hell would be more. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucked up saying that, but
Right.
You know, it's funny because I was watching yesterday. I was watching End of the World, the comedy,
Mm.
and you know how like they go up to the gates and shit like that. And I was like thinking, what if like you know you get teleported up, whatever happens, and then if that's what happens, and God goes, well, do you want to come in here? Or do you want to go to hell? And you're like, what if I want to go to hell?
I'm good.
And you're like the first person ever that goes like, and he's like, what the fuck? You want
Yeah.
to go to hell? Like, what if I say no to heaven? Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
fuck,
But
It is. Yeah. It's very
it's deep.
interesting.
We won't know until we go.
yeah. Well, luckily for you guys, the day might be coming soon,
Oh.
according to some conspiracy theories.
Like what?
So, we have an eclipse coming up,
Oh my god.
April 8th, 2024, right?
We have so many fucking eclipses. Like,
yeah, but here's the thing. So, like,
yeah.
I noticed, but then at first I was like, oh, cool, we had an eclipse coming. Great. We have one every like 20 years, whatever, blah, blah.
There's different types.
Well, different types of eclipse. But this is the
yeah.
total eclipse we have every 20 years, I think. Or the next one's going to be in the US.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was like, okay, whatever, another eclipse. I'll just see one when I get older, whatever.
Right.
But then I started seeing people like putting out conspiracy theories like, oh, this is the end of the world, biblical prophecies are coming up and shit like that. And then I was like, okay, it's just out there some crazy people saying shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then I started seeing videos of governors and
What?
politicians saying like
Get the
they're
fuck out.
putting a state of an emergency out. They're calling out the Coast Guard, or not Coast Guard. What is it? The military, the state military,
Dude, if
National Guard.
National Guard and stuff to help support and stuff like this. So now I'm curious, right? I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this fucking eclipse, right?
Yeah.
So I started doing some research. So I don't know if you guys want to learn a little bit about eclipses,
yeah, sure.
but
Sure, why not?
so the sun is huge, right? The moon is 400 times smaller than the
Right.
sun, and it's 400 times closer to Earth. So that's why it's able to do the pass, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So the number 400 is important with the conspiracy.
Oh, four.
Yeah. And the next one in the US is supposed to be not for another 20 years. 2044 is the next total eclipse we're going to have, right? The last eclipse we had was in 2017, which was a total eclipse. And now this is where the superstition and fun stuff happens.
Oh.
So while science explains the eclipse, superstitions abound, with many considering it as a bad omen. The eclipse path, where it's going to be doing the total eclipse, crosses over a place called Little Egypt, and it has other biblical references like Salem and stuff like that. So the one that happened a few years ago, it crossed over, I think, like 7 cities named Salem, which is another name for Jerusalem.
Okay.
Right now, if you take 2017's eclipse and the one that's coming up, it makes an X basically, which is a Jewish letter called Tav, which means 400.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then if you put the eclipse that we had last year in October 23, it makes another letter called Aleph, and it basically is like the beginning. It means God. So together, the numerical number of Tav is 400. That's why they're like comparing the 400 distance and stuff like that.
Right.
But Tav is also the ending of the alphabet, so it's the beginning of the end.
Mm.
And the eclipse that's happening in a few days, it's gonna start at Jonah in Texas, which there's only 2 states in Jonah called Texas. I mean, 2 states in the U.S. called Jonah, and then it's gonna cross over where the other press crosses, and it's gonna cross against like Little Egypt. There's a place called Devil's Kitchen Lake over there.
Oh yeah, I'm from
and all this stuff. And after it passes Jonah, it's gonna pass 2 of the 9 cities or 7 cities called Nineveh. And the reason that's significant is because in the Bible, Jonah goes to Nineveh to warn them about their sinful ways, and judgment is coming.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Damn, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so this is all shit's happening, right? So now that's why they're saying this is a biblical, like, end times are coming. Last year we had the eclipse. right? And it was 7 days after the Gaza invasion or Gaza war started. Literally a week after that happened.
Right.
So now they're like trying to put everything all together.
Very interesting.
So that is basically
But every time they
the conspiracy theory. I had to go to fucking Christian YouTube to get all this information. This shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like Christian, like apocalyptic YouTube. I was like,
Crazy.
what the fuck? And I was verifying all the information and shit, right? So now I'm getting that. Now I'm all right, let's go back to the real world and see what's actually going on. So the reason but the politicians and everything is calling for National Guard and everything is because now you think about these small towns is going through, I mean, Texas is pretty big, but you got like towns in Illinois, Wisconsin, all these things where this thing's gonna be crossing over, and they're small towns, their population of a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand. Now there's data showing that there's gonna be thousands of people because it's a once in a lifetime type of opportunity for a lot of people to go view this thing. So they're literally taking days off to go travel wherever the total eclipse is going to be.
Right.
And these small towns are going to be overrun basically.
Mm.
They're used to having, and they don't even know if they're allowed, if these people are going to be coming, but just this is what the data is showing. So the small towns don't even want to buy water and stuff because they're like, what if we buy all this water and no one shows up?
I see.
But then if they do show up, there's going to be shortages of water, food, shelter.
So the government's calling for help.
That's why, yeah.
Okay.
So that's why the government's calling National Guards and everything to sum it all up.
Every time they do the whole end of the world, it never happens.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Y2K, 2012.
You know why?
This.
Dude? You know why, right? Because of the Men in Black.
They keep us safe, bro.
Safe? Dude.
Dude.
No, it's because of CERN, bro. We're
It's
teleporting different dimensions.
It's the secret agency that we don't know about. Bro, they're saving us and we don't know.
I gotta research this shit. I mean, yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure. But
Nah, bro, it's CERN, bro. It's CERN. They're teleporting us to different dimensions every time the world's about to end. That's why the world's like retardedly like weird.
Well, let me ask you then, what would you rather have? Would you rather have the end of the world in a biblical sense or the alien invasion type of end of the world?
Ooh.
Damn.
Ooh, that's
I already know my answer.
Wait. Let's go a little bit deeper in this. Like biblical as in like angels and demons.
End of days, like the whole 9 yards of here. Once you hear the trumpet, you get the God's wrath or some shit like that. You ever seen that movie?
Dude, when you say God's wrath, I just think getting raped and pulverized by demons.
Legion,
Mm-hmm.
where supposedly God got tired of humanity, so they had to go on the
had to wipe it out. Yeah,
and so then Michael would, the archangel Michael would still had faith in humanity and shit like that, and of course, good ending. Yeah, it's kind of like pretty much similar to that.
Wait, so
but end of days is pretty much considered like, well, it's like hell on earth, pretty much.
What was the name of the devil that fell?
It's supposed to be claimed.
Hold on though. But there's so many different ways that the world's supposed to end though. There's
only one main way on the biblical sense. It's all relatively the same.
Okay, so
what, like the 7 horsemen come down and
in the 4 horsemen?
Oh, was it 4?
7 horsemen is, I think, it's a drink.
Okay,
but there is like there's 7 deadly sins. Yeah, there's the sins.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're on the right track.
The angels and demons, biblically, right? All that shit happens. Then there's the sense of what were you saying? The other one?
Well, it's supposed to be whenever that happens, whoever are the chosen ones.
Yeah.
So like remember that whole conspiracy with like Elon Musk with like they're saying that if you were to do the Neuralink and then you're supposed to have like your information on your wrist, for example.
Yeah.
They consider that like the modern day like mark of the beast.
Oh.
So the mark of, like, let's say that's a conspiracy, right?
Yeah.
But like the mark of the beast is supposed to like the mark of the beast in the Bible would be like, let's say 666.
Okay.
You know, the ones that everybody knows. But of course in modern day they believe that mark of the beast is something that it's supposed to manipulate everybody. And those who follow, those are marked. So let's say, for example, the story of Moses, one in Egypt, like Prince of Egypt story and all that, where they had to mark their houses and God sent a message like, hey, if you put the sheep's blood or whatever like that on the house, you're safe. Those who are not, you will be killed by sickness. Anyways, long story short, but with the whole biblical sense, the ones who are not chosen are the ones who would be lifted up by, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, whoever the religious people in the comments, but they would be lifted by God and they would go to the kingdom of heaven or some shit. Those who are not, that's like that one movie with a comedy, end of days, people are stuck and hell is going crazy on Earth.
Yeah.
And shit like that. So that's like one of like the most basic like depictions of
Right.
how end of days is supposed to be.
Right.
But like there's another aspect with you know, God will rain his wrath and cleanse the earth with all the angels. And shit.
Okay, and then the other depiction, the other option was what? You said biblical or
the alien invasion.
Alien invasion. Okay, so do these aliens have probes? Is it like old school aliens or new school aliens?
These are intelligent species that are capable of traveling from point A to point B in space.
Yeah.
And they're obviously intelligent because they're able to do this.
Yeah.
And they're strategically invading the...
But do they rape you like anally?
I mean, do you want them to?
Well, I'm trying to weigh my options right now.
I mean, possibly.
Probe by an alien or raped by a demon?
Exactly.
That's your choice.
Possibly. I don't think they would, but they probably would probe you, but not. I don't think they would anal fuck you.
I mean,
well, that's what I'm trying to weigh my cons right now, because what's more gruesome and what's a faster death? You know what I mean? Am I going to be a experiment for the aliens?
Oh, if I just want to die, I already know my answer.
What's that, biblically?
Yeah, hell yeah, I just gonna die.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens at that point.
Yeah.
But aliens, if I want to survive, I'm taking on aliens because at least can try to shoot them and shit.
Well,
I choose aliens because I feel like I have a higher survivability rate than that's supposedly the end of days depiction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I feel like the end of days depiction, you're kind of just like,
you're fucked.
Dude,
well, the end of the world comes.
No, you're done.
Yeah.
There's no hiding.
Yeah.
Instant death, right?
It's literally like you're easily found. Like you're they can track you. Yeah,
there's
some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're
I would assume so. I mean, fuck. Can you imagine getting killed and slain by a fucking bunch of angels or demons?
Yeah.
Or both?
What if they're hot ass angels and they're just slaying you?
Oh, damn.
What if they're hot ass aliens?
Ooh.
Is there different cultures? Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
What, different culture of aliens?
No, the angels. Like you have like the.
No, they're just all white.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
What? They're all white?
I don't know.
Damn.
A pog alien? Or angel?
Like
damn.
there has to be like a variety, like like
there's a lot of those on
Asians, Hispanics.
Okay, what were you saying about Saltburn?
Yeah, you guys got to watch it before we can bring it up next time. But oh yeah, would you ever let your girls see Jaja? Well, Jaja comedy is the.
You mean ha comedy?
I call it Jaja comedy because I feel like that's just the proper way to fucking. Because I mean,
because America.
Why would Hispanics put J's instead of H? Like
that's how they pronounce.
Because J sounds like an H in Spanish.
But when they're laughing, I feel like that's not how they're laughing. They're not laughing like ha 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 like a typical white person. They're laughing like cha 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 cha.
So they should be cha 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 cha
cha cha cha cha cha cha cha.
That's fucking.
I don't fucking know.
Okay. Anyways, why? What is?
So there's this guy viral. Oh, he's not. Yeah, he's trending, right? He's like the Hispanic Salt Bae.
Here, just show us the video.
He's literally sexualizing all these girls when he's feeding them and shit.
Oh, I know this.
Yeah, and then he puts like the chamoy bottle beer. And
I thought this is a comedy club or what?
Well, that's just the page.
Oh,
Better Comedy is the one who he posts on the.
But this guy is I think I've seen him.
But he's popular. I don't know his Instagram, but all I know is the guy who posted this.
Yeah.
Comedy.
It's a restaurant that does all this shit. He's kind of like that black dude that does the grapes in the massage and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
That and also it's also like freaking Salt Bae, but more sexual towards the actual person.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's all these independent single queens that want to go and get treated all like a queen and shit, you know what I mean?
Is that really being treated like a queen though? She was getting like her hair pulled and like putting down on the bottle. Like,
dude, there's one video where she was hella deep. She was deep throwing the bottle.
Oh yeah,
I was like, damn.
I feel like these girls are little sluts,
bro. Yeah. The discussion we were just discussing today was about heaven and hell and how bad decisions are easier than good decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Why is it easier for girls to become strippers and OnlyFans models, right? When they could just go get a goddamn college degree and fucking have a great career. Because it's easier.
It's easier.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's fun. Nobody wants to go through the pain of earning a fucking degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts. Hey, do you think aliens are from outer space?
Yeah. Wait, what? Of course. You're talking about like
aliens from outer space.
you mean you mean like intergalactic aliens? You're talking about like aliens in like America or some shit.
Can we go back to something? Because there was a discussion about
Like trying to set me up for a trap. Sorry.
Is this a trap?
That was not a trap.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm legitimately just asking about aliens. If you think they're from space or
No, there's actually a discussion that they live here on Earth,
and they're actually like from different dimensions actually. So they don't travel through space, but they travel through dimensions to get to where they need to go.
But remember how we're just
Space.
remember how you were just talking about Gaza?
Yeah.
And like all of these things that's happening. So there was a video that was recently released. And well, not recently, but explained on the Ryan whatever show.
Oh, Ryan Garcia, the boxer?
No, he was one of the guys that kind of discussed it, but it was the fucking Navy SEAL dude. What's his name? Something.
just a lot of names.
Oh, fucking
the one I sent you guys on Facebook.
Yeah. The popular one, right?
Yeah. Ryan Shaw.
Ryan. Yeah.
Sean Ryan.
Sean Ryan. Yeah.
Sean Ryan. There you go. Anyways, there was a video that this dude came out, started talking about like the real reason why the United States is in Gaza is because of the fucking tomb. What is that thing though? The box.
Oh, the power box.
The ark of
Ark of
Covenant.
Oh yeah, the Ark Covenant.
Yeah, Ark of Covenant.
Yeah, Ark Covenant, right?
Yeah.
So it is kind of weird that this conspiracy theory about the end of days is coming and it's going right over Gaza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, that video was just insane, man. Like, it's such a long video to watch, but it's so good.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about all these things. Like, they were saying, like, the earthquakes are coming in, the storms, the fires, all that, And then,
like Taiwan.
Yeah. I mean, just what today, right? Taiwan had a 7.4 magnitude earthquake that shook the whole place. And then because of that, it made Japan go on alert for a tsunami because the waves are starting to
Because they're all generally the same area, same zone.
Yeah, we're having all these like catastrophe coming and all this
the
stuff.
Philippines getting affected by this?
Oh yeah. Philippines is like right in the middle of the equator, so we're always right in the middle of like typhoons, tsunamis, and all that.
Yeah, same thing with Hawaii as well.
So like it's right there.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know, man. All these end times and stuff. I'm like, how Henry said, we've been through plenty of them.
Yeah,
and each one is just.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like we don't see earthquakes every year. We don't see every year there's almost an earthquake around the same time. Every year there's a fire around the same time. Every year there's a virus coming around the same time.
Can I say?
But if you think about it, all the stuff that we've been, even though as bad as like all the people who've lost their lives, it's all child's play for like the real thing. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like it's all just building up.
Yeah.
Like it's like the same thing with like the whole Murphy's Law, right?
Yeah.
Whatever can happen will happen.
Yeah.
But like, we don't even know like the maximum magnitude, like where how far this would go. We could have an earthquake that can crack. Fuck, I don't know the science about it right now. I'd have to study it, but research it. But like, I feel like it's possible, man. It can get a lot way worse than this.
Yeah, well, you know what I think it is?
What?
I think it's Godzilla.
You think so?
Yeah.
But I love Godzilla. Godzilla's actually,
yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying because I've been watching Godzilla lately, and same thing happened. The magnitudes in the ocean, and then when the fucking other thing came out of nowhere, like the mosquito-looking motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
And then it was fucking Godzilla,
Yeah.
and it's all happening right there where we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
It's the equator. It's really just Godzilla, dude.
Godzilla's about to come out.
Yeah,
fuck everyone up.
I watched that movie. The new movie came out. Badass.
Yeah.
But I think it really is. I think this is just another fear mongering technique.
Oh yeah.
That's
I mean, I feel like it can be, but
Oh, dude, it's fucking Godzilla. What the fuck,
dude? Godzilla's fear mongering, bro.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I just think it's all fear mongering.
It is.
Every year it's the same shit over and over again.
Well, it's like every decade. There's always days. But the big one was COVID. That went through.
That was a big one.
Go ahead, dude. Just go for it. Just go for it.
Sorry. Hold on, dude. My hand was stuck.
I'm not cutting this part out. I'm gonna leave it where you're just.
Dude, I'm just not guy.
You know, it's like that one, like when you're in the movies, the best part comes.
Did you put it on the camera?
Yeah.
Where he was
just near the end,
Yeah.
But anyways, what I was saying was, COVID was a big push. And
it was.
And then there's been a lot of fear mongering that there's going to be a second shutdown. Yeah. Which it's stupid.
See, the thing I think about though is, in the Bible say beware of like false prophets.
Yeah.
And I feel
like a lot of it is
to lead on to the false prophet, you know, like they're doing all these judgment day stuff and everything. And I think it's all leading up to Jesus coming down, but it's not going to be a real like it's going to be a false prophet basically.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying? Because there was a part that I was seeing, and they said there's a Jewish calendar basically or something, and the Jewish people still go off of it, and that can time things properly, right? So right now NASA can measure up to 1,000 years of when the next up to all the eclipses and stuff like that. But what if this thing's been solved already and they can predict it up to many years in the future? You know?
Yeah, they're just not telling us.
They're just not telling us, and then now they're using it to provide the judgment day, cause more fear into people. Now people are control. Now you have that. You know, the false prophet that comes down and everyone's like, oh my God, this is God. The judgment day is coming, blah, blah, blah. And it's just to control more people and put them more into like.
NASA can actually measure a lot longer than what you're saying. Because recently there was I think it was a month ago, there is an asteroid headed towards our direction, but it won't reach us. Approximate date, they said it was like, we'll be old, right? We'll be old. It's like 20 something. But look, Google it. And by then they believe that we'll have a better plan by the time that time comes, because right now what they're trying to do is trying to change they're trying to find a way, solutions of what would be the best method to eliminate it or change the direction of it.
Yeah, I've heard of this. That's why Space Force was created. Yeah.
But like, look it up, man. It's pretty trippy. Like, they did all the math on it. It's pretty crazy how far we can go back, but you know, you never know.
It is very interesting that there's now a Space Force though, which is fucking crazy to me. Like like, you know, of course it's based off of like controlling planets and stuff, but I think we're way too early for that. Because if you really look at like everything that's going on with Elon Musk and all these other countries, I don't think they have enough capability to get to where we need to go yet.
Yeah.
If the story about the moon landing being fake is true, we're way
well, supposedly there's already plans breaking where they're going to be funding for a moon train.
A moon train?
Yeah.
Dude, they haven't even done the fucking subway trains here.
Yeah, dude.
There's no way, dude.
But I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
The whole moon thing, I get the conspiracy and everything, but I mean, for us to say that we're not capable to go to the moon, I feel like we got on the moon.
You believe that we got on the moon? Like, generally?
I feel like back then, with all the arms race on who the first person to get on the moon was a very big thing. Because it was a very big thing to claim, and it was like a big race, right? And it was like pretty much a measuring each other's dicks, pretty much, right? Yeah, maybe they could have mimicked it or possibly like altered it. But as far as like technology wise, I feel like we were capable. It's just, I don't know. It could be a lot of things.
I think now we're capable of for sure.
I mean,
stuff like that.
We've gone a long way, bro. Like, if you think about it, like Egyptians and all that, they were using pretty much a modern, well, their modern day what would be batteries to power their entire structure.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Did you see some of those videos though of them breaking down like the pyramid, which was the biggest pyramid? It wasn't actually a pyramid for the pharaoh. It was actually where the Covenant Ark was, or something similar to that, like caused power, and there's like little.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you know, for us to, I just don't believe it. I feel like we've always had the capability. It's just, I don't know what would they gain from faking a moon landing? You know what I mean? Only other than like just like, oh, I got there first. That's the only thing I could think about. But for to do that, I mean, I don't know. It could be a lot of things. Who knows? There's so many different angles here with that. But
hey, so now since we're on the topic of like, you know, religion, all that shit, and you're talking about the brain chip and the chip in your wrist.
Would I do it?
No. Do you think Elon's the Antichrist?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he is. I support
But he's the one that supports, he's the one that's promoting the brain chip and everything.
Right, but
that's going to be the mark of the beast.
The whole point behind the science behind it is to help certain people who have debilitating like diseases or movements. Like, let's say if you're like paraplegic or you have a spinal problem. That was the whole goal for getting.
I mean, I understand the benefits of it too, because the one who got chips now, he's able to interact with computers and stuff like that. Yeah,
and I think that's great. But you know, of course, you're always gonna have like those people, which is valid. Honestly, it's not very easy to have an idea like, oh, I'm gonna have a company, insert a chip into me. They have access to whatever information they have. You know, that's a certain like it's very invasive. You have to literally sell yourself like freaking like, do I really want this chip? It's like that one episode on Black Mirror, you know what I mean? Black Mirror where they can see everything, they can rewind everything. And so like the whole episode, like I'm gonna paraphrase it too. I think they were married, and whenever they argue, like, you know what, I told you this, I'll show you. Rewind it, and he connected to the TV, and he was showing the lady like this is what happened. That's pretty much like exactly what Neuralink is gonna lead towards, possibly, or even other companies, third-party companies. Because you know Elon, right? He likes to give out his licenses free, just like his electric cars. Anybody, he's open for people, other companies to use his licenses for the not licenses, the blueprints. What do you call it?
Oh yeah, I know you're talking
You get what I'm trying to say?
intellectual property.
Yeah. So like he kept it open. It's open.
You hear about this new Chinese company that's making this epic ass car that's better than the Tesla now?
No,
I
which
mean,
one?
you know,
It's fucking amazing. Like literally, you can. It's way better than the Tesla. Like it'll automatically parallel park for you, but like the wheels turn.
Oh, I see.
Oh, that's
The wheels turn, and then it instead of like going forward and then back and
It just
and then
moves.
forward again,
Yeah.
yeah, it just slides in. So the Chinese technology is pretty crazy.
but even then, if that were to come out, the proven track record of what he's been launching with Tesla, by the time those get launched, I feel like they're still going to be behind, even though if as much of a good vehicle as better as it is than Tesla.
Dude, I'm gonna get so much hate for saying this right now, but I think Chinese are way superior to what Americans are developing.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah, it's
Same thing with Japanese.
Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
though.
no, I get it.
I think what it is though, it's like the base of it is probably like American or Japanese, and then the Chinese are basically stealing this IP, you know, this intellectual property, and then making it better. So it's not their original creation, but they're just making things so much better because there's so much more
and more economical, I think.
well, economical, but I think also
Well, but
they have a stronger dedication to like better improving things.
Right. But there was a reason why they're able to do that. They have to do unethical things,
Yeah,
but like
that's true.
child labor.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, the OSHA violations committed in Asia compared to America is
Oh, for sure.
is off the chart. It's off the chart.
No, you're right about that. I agree.
It's off the charts.
It's when there's grounds for no rules, you're able to skyrocket much
Yeah,
higher with
for
the
sure.
with the US and like how many rules and regulations we have.
Yeah.
It's so limiting. Like I think we were talking about this last podcast where like if there's more governing rules, there's so many. A lot of the time is trying to figure out how to get around it or how to work around it, whatever it is. But like for example, like I'm gonna get fucking destroyed for all these like the Nazis. Like the Nazis, what they did to the Jews was fucked up, right? But it led science so much further because of the unethical shit that they were able to do and the harsh shit that they did to the Jewish as
Yeah.
test experiments. We wouldn't know a lot of these things if it wasn't for them experimenting.
Or that's why the U.S. took a lot of their scientists over and
Yeah.
made them on our side.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, with the basically like what we talked about, basically everything in the government and all the rules we have, we basically become like a DMV. Nothing can be done like right away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
Sad.
It is pretty sad.
It's fucking sad. But
Yeah.
it is it's necessary if you want to live in a first world country that's, you know, that's has you know, a higher survivability rate.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I've seen so many fucked up videos on factory workers in China, bro. Oh, dude, it just
Yeah.
hurt. Like when the woman was doing the press machine, and she wasn't using common sense, but like she put her arm underneath the fucking press, bro. Oh, dude, her arm.
Oh, I saw that video.
Her arm was flat, bro. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I
dude.
saw that video.
Killed me, bro. It just
You know, it's
fuck.
so I was hanging out with my brother the other day, and he was telling me about the shit that China is manufacturing as food. Have you heard of
No.
these things?
No, I've heard.
Yeah,
about
it's like they're making grains of rice out of plastic. So what they're doing is they're taking recycled plastic material because there's just so much waste everywhere, and they're making food and feeding it to mainland Chinese.
it. Ugh.
as a
What?
profit. Yeah, because it's all about profit.
Yeah.
China, right? So they don't give a fuck about their people.
So they're not even getting real rice. They're getting plastic.
Yeah, they're getting plastic, and people are eating that shit as food. It's fucking
Jesus, that's
crazy.
cool.
But that's not it though. There's so many other things. Like
Yeah.
you've seen the chicken nugget stuff, like how it was like a pink
Yeah.
goo, right?
Mhm.
And then it turns into a fucking chicken nuggets, and then now there's not real meats anymore.
I think it's just population control.
You know what?
That's what I'm thinking too.
I mean, there's 3.4 billion people in that fucking country.
Yeah, but India's surpassed them though.
No, is it?
Yes.
They're still.
No,
Hold on, look at
India is the new world leader of population now.
India's a country that's coming up for sure right now.
Technology-wise,
and everything.
they're very up.
Mhm.
But it's kind of South India. They have such a good. They have such good GDP with their country, but
Yeah,
like
that's true.
they're so corrupt, dude. They have so much potential to
It is.
go even further. Like even as close as Dubai.
But like that's what I'm saying though. Like think about the regulations that they have that they don't have to work against.
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah.
like if they had all these regulations, they wouldn't be where they are right now, technology wise.
Mhm.
Same thing with China. You know what I mean? Japan is a very first world country, so they're also very regulated.
Yeah.
But it's also a safe country. So is the United States, Canada, and all these things. Mexico's corrupted, so they're able to get more things flowing. The problem is the fucking cartels control the goddamn government,
Yeah.
and it's all about drug money.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's I don't know, it's very difficult.
You're right, man. In April 2023, India's population is expected to reach 1.4 billion. I'm not gonna go with the full number, but 1.4 billion people, matching, and then surpassing the population of mainland China. Wow,
Yeah.
And India's growing like fast.
That's crazy.
too.
Yeah, did you ever see the video of like Jeff Bezos sitting down in India and he was talking at a conference and he was saying that like India is the new of the news. He was like saying like
no
this,
wonder there's so many scam calls, dude. They probably established so many fucking billions.
dude, you got to think about like how the world of economics works, right? So
Yeah,
so America basically went to China and gave China all of the manufacturing, everything, because they were like, this is cheaper, we can make it more affordable, we can make higher profit ranges, right? China said, all right, fuck it, let's do it. We don't have a lot of labor laws, whatever. They went from a third world country to the number one country
for industrial.
for everything. Now they're literally the leader of currency right now,
Yeah.
right? So they've maximized that. Trump came in and basically was like, "No, dude, we're gonna put a fucking tariff on this. We got to cut out the source."
Mhm.
So that's why the tariff came in, right? When he did that, everything fucking went to hell. Shortages on everything, this, that, whatever. U.S. pretty much consumerism died. Economy pretty much dropped, right?
Yeah, because we'd have to charge a higher price, and no one. These Americans are more spoiled when it comes to buying certain simple products.
Right, but I'm not for Trump like that, and I'm not against Trump, but I see what he was trying to do
Yeah,
was like, we need to get our power back, right? If we're going to play this fucking game, so we have to hurt a little bit before it gets better.
right.
That kind of all fucked up because of Biden, you know what I mean? He was like, fuck that, you guys take it back, whatever. And then
I mean, I'm not
underground
surprised.
deals. Anyways, then all of these other things started spiraling to different countries now. Everybody's like, oh, I'm going to go to Bangladesh to get linen and textiles. Now they're pushing it to Mexico. Mexico's going to be the next textile king, right? So, and then I believe India is going to be the next tech guys that are going to be up and coming.
I mean, they have a pretty big. I think they're the one of the biggest producers for silicone. I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I believe India.
Yeah.
I believe so.
I think it's latex.
Is it latex? I don't know latex for
and
sure.
silicone.
But there's a silicone for like what we do, like for microchips and all that.
Yeah.
Like they're like one of the biggest ones.
Yeah. And then also China is a huge leader in drugs, like pharmacy.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
because like if you think about it, like where did all the drugs like fentanyl come from? It came from Canada through China.
right.
So if you look into the history of fentanyl, it actually started in Canada, but by the push of China, because it was the easiest way to get through.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting shit. But
like
everything leads to China, dude.
I mean, I get what you're trying to say. I mean, for the longest time, like back in the World Wars, America was known to be like the main competitor, the main source for people trying to get American products. But like, here's one thing I will say though. Whenever you get something made in USA, I feel like you get more quality than you do with you get more an abundance of like, let's say specific products, like how you're saying, like with latex, silicone, certain types of metals. But I feel like the quality, like USA made, is way more durable than you would get from like something made in Asia.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Because in a sense, because you're mass producing in a certain sense where the quality, there's no quality control.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying the material is not the bad part.
Right.
But when you get a bunch of people, you can't even manage that. Whereas in USA, we're so micromanaged. We have multiple companies.
I see what you're saying.
Different. So like, I'm not saying like it's bad in a sense, but there's not enough. There's no quality control.
Yeah.
With that, when it comes to that, like when it goes in and out.
Well, also the cost too.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, China's very about their numbers. Like if you have Asian, if we have a lot of Chinese fucking friends.
Right.
And these motherfuckers are all about their money.
Yeah.
They work on holidays. They work on weekends. They work after hours.
Right.
Right. They're very dedicated to working. But what I'm saying is like,
and they find loopholes.
Yes, they find a lot of fucking loopholes. But what I'm saying is, in China, what we're getting in the manufacturing to big box stores like Walmart, Costco, all that shit, those things are all determined by cost, right?
Yeah.
So there's also a bougie side of China as well.
Yeah, definitely.
A very, very bougie side. And that is high quality shit that America's like big box companies don't usually pay for. Yeah. But when you get a Louis Vuitton bag, those things are made where? In Italy? No, dude. They all come from China, and then they might be assembled in Italy, or the fucking tag is pressed on there. Your iPhone is from fucking China.
Same thing from what do you call it? Fuck, I was gonna say it. I just had a brain fart.
Fuck. But I'm just trying to make my point. Is like there's quality shit. Like every iPhone, every MacBook, the shit that I'm using right now, the cameras, they're all manufactured in fucking China.
Right.
The chips that we use in our cars, phones, everything, that's all China. So there is a level of quality. It's just whatever like is open to like us as a consumerism, like on that level of like Walmart and shit is just trash.
True.
Trash.
I agree.
And then Americans, the thing about America, anything that's produced in America, it costs more money to get that shit shipped here, right?
Right.
So like think about it. Like when we were trying to get a bulk supply of fucking clothing and shit like that for our clothing brand, the fucking minimums are hella high. And then in order to ship all of that shit, you need a fucking container.
Yeah.
And that's thousands of dollars. So now it's cutting into profits, right? It doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
But if you go through a company that's labeled as made in the US, who has the ability to order $5 million in one fucking run, and then they're able to break that cost down and make it a little bit more affordable.
Yeah.
Then just go for the US product.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it just, I don't know. That's just my spiel for today.
I think it depends on the company and the quality and stuff like that.
And also like convenience wise,
Yeah. Well, the US does also have a lot more rules in place for quality anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can actually return it and not wait 3 months before you. And I'm talking to you, Wish.
What about Temu?
Temu, I haven't ordered anything from Temu, but
yeah, I don't know either.
Fuck Wish.
See, that's why you need a Costco membership. You just return whatever you want whenever you want.
Fucking Wish.
That's funny.
Garbage.
All right, close it out.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for watching Waku Radio. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Comment below if you want to know more about certain topics or if you want us to talk about something.
Yeah, don't forget to like our Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube. Comment something below, man, because Seabass really needs to work harder.
Yeah, bro, I have no one to talk to. Like, what the fuck, guys? Like,
wait, what? What you say?
I've been saying every episode, comment below. I'll reply back, and I'm here sitting on the computer looking at the notifications, and all I get is follows and likes.
Not a bad thing.
Which isn't a bad thing.
You gotta like ask like certain questions, probably.
Like what? Tell me.
Fucking dude. Honestly, I've been really thinking about this. Really,
it's Elon the Antichrist. Answer below.
Dude, I think hand jobs are so fucking useless.
Hand jobs?
Hand jobs are so fucking useless. Yeah. I can't stand it.
Yeah, she thinks she can jerk it better than I can.
Yeah, dude, like, fuck you.
Do you think hand jobs are necessary? Yes or no?
Fucking trash.
All right.
Check me out. I'm in hustle mode, real estate mogul, commercial real estate.